I'm Mason Mount. You're listening to the London is Blue podcast.
Back at it. We're going right into zonal marking. Pablo Tescobar asking, zonal marking, why are we using it to defend free kicks and corners when it is clearly ineffective? Iosine asking, how do we improve on set pieces? It is not ever going to be as simple as man marking, as we're a pretty short side, which is why we're marking zonally in the first place. Look, Nick, I know you love a good zonal marking, okay? But I'm interested in the fact that we are a short team. Do you think that plays into it? To me, I'm confused because Frank seems like your old English guy. You on him. That's it. Don't get beat. But he's not.
I mean, there are probably a couple of factors at play, and without diving into each individual tactic, I think outside of Zuma, maybe Christensen, maybe Tammy and or Olivier, I don't see a lot of really good set piece defenders in there from a man marking perspective. It doesn't mean to me, by the way, that they shouldn't try, because I think, anytime you have Zuma just kind of standing there in the middle of space, I'm just like, that's such a wasted moment for him. He should just be able to latch on to the other team's best set piece threat and give him a real challenge for the ball. But yeah, I mean, height factors into it. I also think that the way Chelsea want to break factors into it on offense, Dan. Like, should we be able to defend one of these set pieces for once? Being in space instead of being latched onto someone allows you to break quicker the other way. So I think it all does factor in. I don't love it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think the concern around height is definitely one that jumps to top of mind for me. And a lot of it's also commitment. It's just a desire to want to beat the man and own the box and not allow the other person to just worm their way out of potentially the block that you've kind of placed them in. So as much of it is just, it's a lot of it's desire. And I think we have a lot of mental lapses. You see that, we get players shrugged off on. We have players who maybe aren't attending or kind of being aware of where that runner is going or where that runner is coming in from behind him. So I just think that there's a lot in terms of commitment and coaching on this piece, that because until you have taller personnel, maybe even a little bit stronger personnel to really make it difficult for the the opposition team, I don't foresee us getting stronger on set pieces until some of that's resolved, and part of that's personnel, Brandon.
Yeah, I think that it's not always a desire. It's also awareness. Think of the goal we gave up against Leicester. Asby didn't realize Ndidi was on his back shoulder. It is the same thing when I think it wasn't the Liverpool goal. It must have been one of the United goals. Again, Asby didn't check his back shoulder, and then Martial ran right across him and thigh'd it in. And I think that's a big part of it is just awareness. And I'm not trying to pick on Azpilicueta right now. That's not my agenda. So the players also have to be switched on and aware and know if they're in their zone, you have to go attack the ball and do that. But, part of the reason I like the man-to-man is that you get to kind of knock them off their desired path from the beginning. You're able to jump into them a little bit and knock them off balance. There's tactics you can do, even if you're beat to the ball, to make it impossible for them to get a clean look at it. And zonal, when you're beat, you're beat. But here's the thing, I have to caveat this is, Maurizio did it, Frank's doing it, other people do it and do it well. It's just not working for Chelsea for some reason. But it has value. Otherwise, people around Europe wouldn't do it. Just us as fans don't get it at all. We just, unfairly judge it maybe.
I think we would get it if we saw some successful use cases out of it. I mean, I think that's where we're struggling is like, I know when Virgil van Dijk locks onto somebody in the box, that the likelihood of them getting a header on frame is dramatically goes down. You know, I think Kurt Zouma could very easily play that role. You know, I understand why you would leave, you know, your tallest player at the front so that you know the opposition pulls a willy in and doesn't, you know, get it past the first man. But you know, at the same point, like Frank has analyzed this. I trust him. I want him to, you know, to be able to pull off his philosophy. But man, it's tough to watch a free header go in after we just did all year of that last year.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, look, obviously people get beat man to man. It just seems like statistically it's, you know, a better option. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that, see if height plays a difference. But we're not really a tall team in general, so we're going to have to figure something out. Man City aren't a tall team, but they figured it out. So maybe take a page out of their book.